No one really cares who the police officers or detectives are because archaeologists and investigative journalists are the ones solving crimes now. Countless examples show ordinary people investigating either alongside the police or entirely on their own, stepping in where an underfunded and dysfunctional department has failed, all in the hope of finding their missing loved ones. The latest example is MGM Plus's 4-episode miniseries Vanished, which follows an archaeologist searching for her missing boyfriend in France. However, Vanished takes a completely fresh and surprising approach, constantly upending the story at every turn and never allowing us to fully trust anything or anyone we see on screen. At the center of Vanished are two seriously underrated actors we don't get to see enough of, Kaley Cuoco and Sam Claflin. They are joined by a strong supporting cast that heightens the show's tension and impact, including Matthias Schweighöfer, Karen Vide, and Simon Abkarian. Together, the performances in the winding narrative make Vanished compelling enough to hold the audience's attention until the very end, though it ultimately struggles to deliver the payoff it promises.
What is Vanished? Alice Munro is an archaeologist who receives a new job offer, a professorship at a prestigious university. To celebrate, she goes on vacation with her boyfriend, Tom Parker, and asks him to move in with her. However, Tom's response is far from enthusiastic. Then, while Alice is dozing off, Tom disappears from a train in France, leading local police to assume that he has simply run away from his responsibilities. Alice teams up with Helene, a journalist she meets on the train, and together they follow a trail of clues in search of Tom. But most things are not what they seem, and across 4 episodes, the series delivers plenty of surprising twists.
Vanished cleverly uses plot twists and genre tropes.
If you removed the final 10 minutes, Vanished would be an almost perfect series, built on smart plot twists, genuine threats, and a distinctive sense of humor. Everything feels meticulously set up for a big finale, one that promises something more shocking, or at least more emotionally satisfying and reassuring, than what we ultimately get after 4 episodes. Each episode continually reshapes the narrative while remaining faithful to the story and its characters, never breaking internal consistency, and playing with perception and reality in striking yet thrilling ways. At the same time, deeper commentary on relationships and perhaps allegorical elements related to domestic abuse add an unsettling layer of depth to the story. Before the finale, the writing displays an unusual sharpness that pairs well with the show's uneven, labyrinthine surface. Cuoco carries much of the emotional weight of the series, and we follow her through a world of secrets and half-formed dreams. Known primarily for her success in comedy and sitcoms, it's exciting to see Cuoco step into a thriller role. Her character's intelligence and intuition feel believable, and her sweet romantic chemistry with Claflin is genuinely compelling. As a result, even as Alice's sense of reality begins to collapse, it remains easy to root for her, forcing both her and the audience to reassess everything around them. However, Cuoco delivers her strongest work when sharing the screen with Viard. Together, they become an unstoppable force of conflict and camaraderie. Helene serves as the backbone of the show's distinctive humor, refreshing the familiar searching for a missing loved one trope. The first episode offers the clearest example of this, as Alice asks all the outdated, expected questions about why the police won't help her, while remaining oblivious to the city's darker underbelly. There's a sense of frustration in watching the same old tune and dance, only for the show to reveal, once it has lulled the viewer into a false sense of security, that it intends to dismantle those very conventions. At that point, Helene steps in as a self-aware, genre-savvy voice that openly calls out these clichés. As the episodes progress, this tonal self-awareness surfaces in other narrative choices as well, creating an enjoyable and playful genre experience for the audience.
The ending of Vanished undermines the goals it tries to achieve.
Now, the final 10 minutes of Vanished are certainly not bad, but they are confusing. The closing scene delivers a perfectly ironic moment that may prompt a smile, yet it feels out of sync with the rest of the series. In fact, it ends up overshadowing everything that came before it. Every plot twist in Vanished is shocking, and most of the series is tightly constructed.
but the final reveal arrives in an unsettling and inconsistent way, leaving viewers to question what the show is actually trying to accomplish. Is Vanished aiming to entertain, to shock, to create a sense of empowerment, to offer commentary on relationships? None of these goals are wrong, but the combination of all of them proves far from satisfying. The main reason the ending feels hollow is the show's engagement with heavy subject matter. While the tone surrounding these elements is generally serious, the humor tends to lean on genre clichés. When the final confrontation and closing scene come together, the series ends in a way that almost feels like a joke, one that seems insensitive to the gravity of the issues it raises. Setting ethical concerns aside, there is a missed opportunity to say something truly meaningful. Instead, Vanished comes across as an unfinished experiment in feminism, comedy, or shock value. Had the series altered that controversial plot turn, the ending could have worked as a twisty, slightly strange, yet emotionally effective conclusion to a thriller. As it stands, the outcome weakens the depth of the show's tone, but Vanished remains interesting and entertaining enough to be worth watching. What it achieves by playing with classic genre elements is genuinely inspiring, even if it ultimately leaves a bitter aftertaste.